They hate when you elevate.
ATP, what it do? It's your boy Rain. Yeah, it's that ATP Combat Media Show. We back at it again. Shout out to all my subscribers. If this is your first time tapping into this content, I invite you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit your bell icons as well, so you are getting alerts when all this content is dropping. Is Gervonta Tank Davis being treated unfairly? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Is Gervonta Tank Davis being treated unfairly? Well, first of all, let's get something out of the way. Shout out to all of Gervonta Tank Davis's quote-unquote fans, and I do put a quote-unquote there because sometimes I do wonder if they're really fans of Tank, or are they more so infatuated with Tank, right? Do we all remember that Gervonta Tank Davis is a boxer? That he's a fighter? What do you celebrate and love about Tank Davis so much that you can get anywhere near a position where you don't want to see this man fight the best in the sport? Is Gervonta Tank Davis being treated unfairly? What does that mean? Are they burning crosses outside the front of his home? Is he being stalked? Is he being threatened? Are they talking about his personal life? You know, his children, his family. Are they taking shots at that? Or is the boxing space simply asking to see him fight the best? Ladies and gentlemen, if we're asking to see Tank Davis fight the best, why are we asking him to fight the best? Well, we're asking him to fight the best because we think he's one of the best. Literally asking and wanting to see this man fight the best is giving this man the highest accolades possible, because we understand that he performs at a high level, competes at the highest of levels. He's a face of boxing, right? Well, as a face of boxing, who do we put the blame on? Who do we put the pressure on to fight the best, if not in the hands of the face of boxing? It's interesting to get the pushback that we get from all of the Tank Davis quote unquote fans. And I use it very sparingly because I believe the biggest Tank Davis fans are the guys who hold Tank Davis to the highest level and the highest regards, who expect nothing but the best from Tank. We're the real fans of Tank. We understand. We fight so hard because we understand what we gain when he does go ahead and put himself in the ring in front of the best. We understand that when he fights the best, we as real fans of Tank Davis, and more importantly, real fans of boxing, know that we get to see the best fights. We get to see history made in the ring. Something about a competitive boxing, right? Big emphasis on competitive. Very important part of it. So while we're getting pushback from all the Tank Davis fans out there who want to come up on your channels, on your panels, put comments underneath the videos and say you're a Tank hater, I thought I'd come out and try to put that in some perspective. Let's get some context to what we're doing here, to what this channel is doing. And there's other channels out there doing the same. But this channel in particular, pushing to see the best fight the best, pushing to see Tank push to the limit so he can show us who he is, pushing to see Tank earn the accolades that'll get him put in the Hall of Fame, pushing to see all of these things. This platform will always be on that side of the argument. This isn't about hating on Tank. I got too much respect for Tank. Like I said, I believe I'm a real fan of Tank. Unlike a lot of people out there who would actually talk down a fight or talk bad at a fight. It doesn't even make any sense. I heard an Errol Spence fan a few days ago say the worst thing Errol Spence did was do that deal with Terrence Crawford. He should have never gotten to that. He should never fought Terrence Crawford. I'm like, man, what kind of boxing fan says they would have rather had not seen Errol Spence perform against Terrence Crawford because he lost? Is that what the situation is? Is it the loss so hard to swallow that you'd rather the fight have never happened? What kind of boxing fan are you? Yeah, it's weird. It's definitely weird. But I wanted to push back a little bit at the fan base who seems to believe that to be a fan of Tank is to protect Tank. It's to support every single move Tank does. It's to never have any standards that you want to hold Tank to. I wanted to push back at the idea that people like us, like me, are Tank haters. Y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill. It literally makes no sense. The only thing that makes sense is that you're such a fan and you're so emotionally attached to another grown man as a man that you're making it uncomfortable and awkward in the room. Now, look, I'm sure there are channels out there who hate on Tank, who says he's nothing but a hype job, that he can never beat these guys, that he's scared of these guys, that he's ducking these guys. But that's not what's happening over here. What's happening over here is Tank could probably beat every single last one of those guys. Excuse me. Tank can beat every single last one of those guys. But those guys can also beat Tank. And there's nothing wrong with being honest about that. But that's why we want to see the fight. Because we want to see Tank push through the best in the game. So we can confirm and know what a lot of us already know off the face, off the eye test. We understand the level of talent that he is. Generational, pound for pound, one of the best fighters probably boxing today. But how will we ever be able to give that real confirmation, to really get that real understanding by not seeing him fight the best? And how are you, the fan, going to see Tank do what Calvin Ford has said over and over and over again on different platforms? You guys have yet to see what Tank has to offer. He says he can't wait. He's hoping every fight that Tank gets in, that fighter will push the button to set Tank free so Tank can show the world what he already knows. That's his own coach who's letting you know that they've never been in the ring with someone who's brought the best out of Tank yet. His own coach is saying that. So why in the world would not push to see Tank fight the best fighters in the game? Why would I be satisfied with him fighting fighters I know he's going to beat, that I know is no competition, or at least I believe is no competition? Why wouldn't I push back at that? Tank is the face of boxing, supposedly, according to his fan base. Canelo Alvarez, who's also considered the face of boxing. Last two fights. Jaime Munguia, a golden boy fighter, against his arch nemesis Oscar De La Hoya, made that fight happen. Then went and fought Edgar Berlanga, a matchroom fighter, aka Eddie Hearn's arch nemesis to one of the PBC's prized supporters, and Leonard Ellaby. And supposedly the PBC doesn't want to even do any business with matchroom. So how can I sit here today and listen to fans telling me that Tank Davis can't make a fight with a Shakur Stevenson because he made a move and signed a deal with Eddie Hearn? The face of boxing don't care about no deals. He don't care about no cross the street BS. He says what he wants and he gets it. You guys boast that Tank Davis went and got a $200+ million deal with Amazon Prime and the PBC. You telling me they're going to give that man that much money and let something like the wrong side of the street get them out of getting one of the biggest fights that Tank Davis can get involved in? No, sir. That's not what's happening. When you're the face of boxing, you choose to fight who you want to fight, and you choose to not fight who you don't want to fight. Now, I'm still willing to give Tank Davis the benefit of the doubt to say that maybe he's allowing his quote-unquote handlers, the matchmakers that work for the PBC or Amazon Prime or TGB, Tom Brown, was it TGB, Tom Brown's company? Maybe the matchmakers are over there picking Tank's fights. Maybe Tank needs to step up and realize that he's in the position to call the plays and get some offers sent out to these fighters that the fans want to see him fight. Let's see him get his team to send out offers to boxers who are going to really compete with him on a high level. And maybe one of those guys might push the button. But nobody's trying to hear this whole nonsense that because where Shakur is right now, that he can't, that there can't be a fight made between Tank and him because he's on the wrong side of the street. He's taking himself. What are you talking about? If Tank is thinking that way, somebody needs to let him know, brother, that doesn't have nothing to do with you. If you want this fight with Shakur, we can pursue this fight and make it happen. Shakur wants to make this fight. We can at least call their bluff, send them an offer, let them know of an intention to fight and a date and an offer on how much money you're going to give him and all those things that needs to be involved in it for it to be an official offer, and let him turn it down and prove to the world that he's trying to make the fights happen, that it's not on him. But all this silence and all these fans speaking for a man who doesn't care to even let the world know how he's going to move one way or the other, it's one of two things. It's either you respect his silence and you guys stop speaking for him, or you guys put the pressure on him so you don't have to keep speaking for somebody who's not speaking for themselves, right? But as fans, sparingly with the quotes again, yeah, man, I think a real fan wants to see his fighter be great. And how can he be great fighting against subpar opponents? I myself admitted I'm a Bud Crawford fan. I'm one of the biggest cheerleaders to see Bud Crawford fight Canelo Alvarez. Against all odds, people saying he's going to lose, I want to see him fight. He wants that fight. He thinks he can do it. I want to see him do something special. I'm pushing for that fight. God knows which way that fight can go, but that has nothing to do with it. It's a real support for Terrence Crawford. I'm cheering him on to go make that fight happen. What are you guys doing to make sure Tank goes down in the books as one of the greatest? It's your boy Rain. It's that ATP Combat Media Show. Shout out to all my subscribers. Once again, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, I'm encourage you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit your bell icon so you get alerts when all that content is dropping. Right? Even you Tank hate. I mean, even the guys who think I'm the Tank hater. Subscribe, man. Keep up with the channel. Let's see if I can change your mind. Never know, right? Either way, it's your boy Rain. It's that ATP Combat Media Show. And until the next segment, you out.